Hi all. I'm Kathy, a bit of Wake Up era, but I just want to remind everybody here, in particular, our security protection and
guardians of the people,
and all authorities. The Constitution, if anybody has read the preamble, is primarily based on God, and that preamble sets the tone of every article in that Constitution and subsequently every legislation that should be passed in this country. So let me just read you a couple of lines of the preamble, if I can read it. In the name of the Most Holy Trinity, from whom is all authority, and to whom, as our final end, all actions, both of men and state, must be referred. We, the people of Era, humbly acknowledging all our obligations to our divine Lord Jesus Christ, who sustained our fathers through centuries of trial. We, the people under God, give us this Constitution. God is our final judge, not these. God bless Enoch Burke. Free Enoch Burke! 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 Free Enoch Burke!
Hey, Malachi's here, he wants to say a few words in.
I'm going to chop up my car. Still your usual address. I get it off before you go.
Just to echo what Burke said earlier, the only way we will win this battle is unity. And all people around the country need to stand together to push this forward. The only political representatives here today are myself and Councillor Pepper. If Enoch Burke was in jail in any tin pot country in South America, in Palestine or Ukraine or Russia, the political class in this country will be marching up and down, hopping up and down, roaring and shouting and demanding his release. But because Enoch Burke stands for everything those people, stands against everything those people support, they're happy enough to leave him in jail for as long as he's prepared to stay there. And he indicates that he will stay there till the end of his days if he has to. In years to come, our grandchildren will talk of Enoch Burke like they talk about Solzhenitsyn, who was sent to the gulags because he opposed communism in Russia. He will be seen as one of the heroes of our time. They tell us that he's not in jail for opposing transgenderism and for not recognising reality. They say he's in jail for breach of a court order. If this country was to jail people in breach of court orders, we would need about 10 more jails. Politicians. In family law alone, there are thousands of men in breach of court orders every day for not paying maintenance. There are thousands of women in breach of court orders for denying the fathers of their children access to them. They, in theory, according to the left and the political class, should also be in jail. But this government and the NGO sector doesn't know how to deal with somebody of principle, somebody who's prepared to stand up for their beliefs regardless of the consequences. They don't know how to deal with Enoch Burke. And every day he sits in that cell, he puts it up to them. They would rather this go away. And as we progress through this, myself and Councillor Pepper will be bringing motions to the council demanding his release, even though the council has no role in it, and the councils in this country are virtually ineffective in everything. And we will no doubt lose those motions. And the people who will vote against us have made it quite clear that they will not work with the likes of myself, Gavin Pepper, Philip Sutcliffe, or in the other two councils, Patrick Quinlan and Glenn Moore and O'Donnell down in Meath, or Tom O'Donnell. But that won't deter us from what we're doing. And those who screamed for years about being isolated, those who screamed for years about being banned from the media, those who screamed for years about saying that other political representatives wouldn't speak to them, are the ones leading the charge against us. But we will defeat them. In the last local elections, despite people's perception, we made huge gains. Remember, we had no elected representatives before June. Now we have a half a dozen around the councils. And when the election comes in November, we need to have people into Leinster House. Because standing on the outside, we will get nowhere. At least if we're in there, we will have a mandate. We will have a mandate that ultimately they will have to respect, and we will face them down. But again, we need people to come together. And it's somewhat incredible that Enoch Burke is now over 400 days in custody. That's a sentence of about 1.5 years. When we see people walking from the courts up the road here, bypassing this building or Clover Hill, when they've been found, and even when they've pleaded guilty to possession of child porn, that particular judges
George Nolan
seem to have a happiness or a regular dismissal of these people and allowing them to go out and carry on their activities. It is somewhat incredible that people who are found in those positions, and we only have to look at, for instance, the producer from RTE who was trapped in England a number of years ago, trying to abduct and rape a young child. And he, at least in Britain, he was jailed. If he was over here, he wouldn't have been jailed. But somebody like Enoch Burke, who stands up on a principled position, and it doesn't matter about religion, it doesn't matter whether you're Catholic, Protestant or dissenter. What Enoch Burke is saying is quite clear, it is quite natural, and they told us, follow the science. Enoch Burke is following the science. A boy is not a girl. And we should be out and bombarding all of the media stations, even though they won't allow us on. Bombard them every day, demanding the release of Enoch Burke. Go to your local areas and protest. Just keep at it. And again, thanks to Ferg for organising here today, and it's good to see a decent enough crowd, but a small crowd in the overall scheme of things. Remember, Enoch Burke is like the prisoners of conscience in the 6 counties during the 1976 period up to 81, when they took away political status. Enoch Burke is a political prisoner. He is effectively being interned by judicial command. He's not guilty of any charge. He hasn't been charged with any offence. That effectively is internment, because the legal definition of internment is a remand in custody without charge or trial. That is what Enoch Burke is. And he is our prisoner of conscience today, and a political prisoner. And get that message out there across the media. And they're using Enoch Burke, not to silence Enoch Burke particularly, but to silence you. And we will not be intimidated. They can jail us all. And in time, they probably will do that, if they don't kill us first. But we'll be like Trump, we'll deflect the bullets. Again, thank you.
Right lads, just one more thing. There's a few of us here, right, and we've been out not the last few days or weeks or months, we're out years now, right, fighting against this corrupt government. And there's a message from me here today, right? You can't beat someone that won't quit, and there's not a fucking ounce of quitting any of us, right? So we're here for the long haul. We're here to take back this country for our children and the future generations. Anyone else want to say that before we...
Hey, tell him he's not alone.
Huh?
Tell him he's not alone in there. Look outside.
His body is strapped.
Tell Enoch he's not alone.
Get the kids to vote.
We're going to get Ireland's #1 citizen journalist up to say a few words here. Okay, everybody, thank you for turning up here today. Everybody here should take a good look at each other, the person beside you. And you look into them eyes and you say that you are beside the people of Ireland, the ones who care, the ones who aren't going to stand for this madness that's going on inside this prison. Every one of you should be proud of yourselves.
Yes!
And you need to go and tell everyone possible, everyone in your circles now, it's really time. People are now prepared to listen, in my opinion.
The 19th of September.
I had the privilege last week to go down to the Wilson's Hospital School Indoctrination Centre, and we waited outside and we had the privilege to shake his hand, Enoch Burke's hand, and he said a few words to me on camera. There is something special about that man. You just have to be in his presence, in his company. There is something in him. And to stay 400 days in prison over this very important principle. This principle is not about Enoch Burke. It's about our children. It's about the attack that they're committing on the innocence of our children.
Well said.
We just cannot let them win this one.
No.
They are hell for leather to destroy anybody who wants to speak out against this transgender ideology for whatever reason. It's a stick to beat us with. That's all it is. It's like climate action. It's like the COVID nonsense. It's like everything they try to do to scare and intimidate the population. We cannot and will not let it stand. Now I say to people here, this is the judicial system and the criminal justice system being politicised. They're doing it to myself and they're doing it to the Ferg. We know all about it. They are using the criminal justice system to destroy good Irish people who simply have a different opinion than the government, who know what reality is. A boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. End of. Right lads, I just want to thank you all for coming here today. We're going to have a couple of songs from Clive and we'll get Tracy to do the last